Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Novia. Today I'm going to talk about the characteristic of young learners and how they typically learn, especially in the context of language learning or the classroom education. Understanding young learners is very important for teachers, especially if we want to create effective and enjoyable lessons. In this presentation, I will explain the main characteristic of young learners and discuss how they learn best in the classroom. But before we go into the main discussions, let's know about who are young learners. Young learners usually refer to children in the kindergarten and elementary schools, and typically age 5 until 12 years old. They have special ways of learning and they are different from teenagers or adults. And let's to the main topics. I have 10 characteristics of young learners. For the first is short attention span. Young learners have a short attention span and they can only focus on one activity for a few minutes before they get bored or distracted. That's why teachers need to change the activities frequently and keep lessons dynamic. For example, after 10 minutes of listening to a story, we can switch to singing or drawing activity to refresh their attention again. And the second characteristic is learning through play. Okay, young learners very love to play because play is a natural way for them to learn new things. Through games, role plays, and sing songs, they can explore language in a fun and relaxed environment. For example, language games like Simon Says or maybe memory cards can help them to learn the new world without feeling pressured. And the third characteristic is imitations and repetition. I think they learn a lot by imitation and repetitions because young learners often copy what adults and their friends do or maybe they say, and they also need to hear and repeat new words or phrases many times before they can remember and use them confidently. That's why using chants, maybe songs, and repeated instructions where it's work very well from them. And next to the fourth characteristic. The fourth characteristic is think in concrete terms. Young learners are concrete thinkers. They understand things and that they can see, and also they can touch or experience directly. Abstract ideas are difficult for them to grasp, so using real objects, pictures, and demonstrations can help them to understand a lesson better. And the fifth characteristics is physically active. Young learners are very active physically. They love to move around and often can sit still for a long time. So activities like total physical response, where students respond to commands by moving, or interactive games in the classrooms, keep them to engage and help them learn by doing. And next to the sixth characteristic is curious and eager to explore. The six young learners are very curious. They like to ask some questions and they can explore new things. This is curiosity can be a great advantage if the teachers provide the opportunities for discovery and experimentations. For example, we can ask the students to observe, guess, or maybe share their own experiences related to the lesson. And the seventh characteristic is need for encouragement and praise. Young learners need encouragement and praise. The positive feedback helps build their confidence and motivates them to participate more actively in the classroom. The simple phrase like, wow, it's a good idea, or maybe good job, or well done, or maybe others. And next characteristic is learn socially. The young learners learn a lot from social interactions. Young learners develop language and communication skills through the group work, prayer activities, and the classroom discussions. For example, working in pairs to practice dialogues, or maybe playing groups like games, can help them to learn from each other. And this is, I think, it's mostly liked by young learners in the others characteristic. And next characteristic is dependent on guidance. So the young learners are still dependent on their teachers. They need clear instructions, demonstrations, and need help to complete the task. Independent learning is still difficult for most of them, so this is maybe it's not possible if we use this as a teachers. We need to be patient and provide the young learners even step by step with our support. And yeah, for the last characteristic is learn from real life experience. The young learners remember better when lessons are connected to their real life experiences. If the lessons are related to their daily life, or maybe in their interests, or maybe in their environment, they will be more engaged and remember the material longer. For example, we can teaching vocabulary related to their favorite foods, or family, or maybe daily routines that can more meaningful for them. And guys, based on this characteristic, here are some effectively ways young learners typically learn in the classroom. Young learners absorb knowledge base when they are having fun and actively involved in the learning process. Instead of only listening to explanations, they need to experience learning through play, movement, and hands-on activities. For example, when children sing songs, maybe play games, or act out stories, they are not just enjoying themselves, but they are also practicing language skill in a natural way. Repetition and imitation are also very important for them. The children love to repeat words, phrases, or actions until they feel comfortable and confident. That's why the teachers often use the songs, chants, and classroom routine to help the language stick. Young learners also rely heavily on their sense. They learn more effectively when the lessons involve singing, hearing, touching, or even moving around. Visual aids like pictures, colorful flashcards, or maybe the real objects make new concepts much easier to understand. Learning with friends is another key aspect. Children are naturally social, so working in pairs or groups allows them to practice communicating and learning from each other. Through interaction, they pick up language and develop social skills at the same time. Above all, young learners connect the knowledge with their own experiences. When the lessons are related to their daily life, interests, or familiar situations, they become more meaningful and memorable. For example, learning vocabulary about food is easier if it's related to what they actually eat at home, or maybe at their schools. So, in short, young learners learn best when lessons are interactive, engaging, and closely connected to their real-world experiences. And as a teacher, we need to understanding the characteristic and learning styles of young learners, which means the teachers need to be creative and flexible in their approach, and lessons will be planned with a variety of interactive activities that keep children engaged, such as games, shows, and hands-on projects. And using real objects and visual aids can make abstract ideas more concrete, and easier to understand. It's also important to give plenty of praise and encouragement, as this boosts children's confidence and motivates them to participate in the class. And clear instructions and also like step-by-step guidance are essentials since young learners often rely on their teachers' support to complete tasks. And most important, the teacher should find ways to connect lessons to the students' daily lives, making learning meaningful and memorable. By doing all these things, we can create a classroom environment where children feel safe, happy, and excited to learn, and learn. So that's all from me. I do apologize if I have made mistakes during the presentations. I'm Novia Zahra, and last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.